Hi there, this is Jacob Nash, Algebra Lessons, Unit 3, Lesson 14, about creating an equation from quadratics. From a graph. Obviously, it's quadratics. Trying to click this, I was planning out what lessons I would make, and I didn't type the right thing. Okay, so we already have learned in the last few lessons how we can create a graph, like how we can graph it using equations, but you need to know how to do it the other way too, which to me it seems easier because the information is already given to you and you just have to plug in numbers. So let's have a graph here. Obviously it's not a real graph because it doesn't have lines. I don't feel like pulling out that thing that I've used before. So let's say we have a vertex right here. Let's say that this is 3, -4. And then we have a 0 right here at -1 and a 0 right here at 3. And, well, that wouldn't really be 3. That would probably be like 5. And then we have a y-intercept at here. Let's say this is -2. Well, really, that's probably -1. Whatever. So now this is what the graph would look like. So now we need to create an equation. Well, what's the easiest way to create an equation? So remember there's 3 kinds: standard, vertex, and factored. Which one would we want to graph? Well, it would be easy to do vertex or factored because we know the zeros and we know the vertex. The vertex and the zeros. So that's why. And we do know the y-intercept, but it would be not really easy to do standard form because the only thing that is known by standard form is the y-intercept, and there would be no way to figure out what b is unless you already knew what a was using the other one, so there's really no point. But you could if you needed to. But you would have to first make an equation for vertex or factored. So let's just do. We'll do both just for this purpose. So vertex. So remember what the vertex form is. It's y equals negative, or not negative. It could be negative. Just a times x minus h squared plus k. Remember, h and k are the vertex points, but you change the sign of h. So now we have a times x, change the sign of the 3, so it's -3, squared minus 4. Okay, well, we're not done making the equation because you don't know what a is. How do we figure out what a is? Well, here's what you have to do. The only way that you can find what a variable equals is if there's only one variable. There's 3 variables, y, a, and x. How do we figure out what y and x are? Well, all we have to do is find one point that happens to be on this quadratic. It doesn't matter which one. We know at least that there's -1, 0 right here. So let's just use that one. We plug that in for x and y, and that's how we can find what a is. So y is 0. A is just nothing because we didn't figure out what it was yet. X is -1 minus -3 squared minus 4. So 0 equals -1 minus 3 is -4. -4 squared is 16. 16 minus 4 is 12. So we have 0 equals 12a. Divide by 12 on both of them, and we get that a is 0. Okay, a is 0. That doesn't seem so good. Well, yeah, that doesn't seem so good. I might have done something wrong here. Let me try to think. Oh, I know what I did. I forgot. You can't make when you're using any point on the graph, it can't be something where y is 0, or it'll always make the thing 0. So let's use one where there's not a 0. Well, we can actually use the vertex, which kind of seems weird, but you can actually do that. So let's plug in 3 for x and -4 for y. So -4 equals a, 3 minus 3, and then we have this. So 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 squared is 0. Minus 4 is -4. So -4 is -4a. That would make a 1. So there we go. That's better. Sorry about that. So a is 1. That really means you just don't even need to put anything there for a. So that means, let's erase all this, that this is our full equation. So that's what the equation is if we did in vertex form. You can also do it in factored form. So remember what the default thing for factored form is. Y equals a times x minus m times x minus n. M and n are the zeros. So remember, zeros are -1, 0, and 5, 0. But since they're negative, that means you have to change the sign of it. So that means you would have to make a positive. Or, well, positive for this one and negative for this one. So that means a, well, we already knew that was 1 for the vertex form, but you would have to do the same thing that we just did to find a if we didn't know it, so we'll just not put anything there. X, we changed the sign, so it's +1 times x minus 5, because we changed the sign of that one too. So that is what it would be in factored form. So there you go. That is how you take a graph and then change it to an equation. That will be it for this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video, which will be on the application of quadratics.